Hello, my fellow workers, by which I mean fellow survivors of the 9-to-5 grind. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about something near and dear to our value menu hearts, jobs.
Where's the money?
You know that thing we're all supposed to be grateful for, like it's some sort of divine gift from the corporate overlords. But let's be real here, modern jobs are a scam. Yes, I said it. A scam, and not the Fun Watch Live kind. No, this is a scam that slowly drains your soul, one underpaid hour at a time. Before we go any further, if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would help out the channel a ton. Now let's kick things off with the basics, wages.
Jesus, why is it so expensive here?
Remember when a job was supposed to give you enough to live comfortably? A little something to cover rent, food, and maybe, just maybe, save up for a rainy day? Those days are long gone. Today, many of us are left scrambling to make ends meet. And it's not because we're spending all our money on avocado toast. No, it's because wages have been stagnating for decades while the cost of living has been climbing like a cat up a tree. And here's the kicker, inflation. It's the gift that keeps on giving, except in the sense of making your paycheck worth less and less. It's like being in a race where the finish line keeps moving further away, and you're running with a backpack full of bricks. Those bricks are the rising prices of everything from groceries to gas to healthcare, which, by the way, is more expensive than ever. Just try to find a decent health plan without having to sell a kidney. And while we're on the topic of health insurance, let's not pretend that employer-sponsored health plans are the golden ticket they once were. Today, health insurance can feel like a cruel joke. Deductibles are sky high, co-pays are out of control, and don't even get me started on prescription drug costs. It's like paying for a VIP experience at a theme park, but instead of roller coasters, you get endless waiting rooms and surprise bills. But let's talk about job security, or rather, the lack of it.
I got fired.
Remember when a job meant stability? When you could work hard, climb the corporate ladder, and actually expect to keep your position for a while? Well, those days are over now. Job security is as mythical as Bigfoot. Companies are more interested in short-term gains than long-term loyalty. Layoffs have become as regular as Monday morning meetings. And when those layoffs come, what do you get? Maybe a small severance package if your company is feeling generous, or, more likely, just a quick exit and a LinkedIn endorsement for adaptability. It's like getting a participation trophy for your hard work, except it doesn't come with any actual rewards. So, what do we do when we're faced with such uncertainty? Well, let's not pretend it's all doom and gloom. The gig economy has swooped in to offer a glimmer of hope, or at least a different way to keep the lights on. The idea is you're your own boss, setting your own hours. Sounds great, right? Except when you're working 60-hour weeks to barely scrape by and don't even think about health benefits or retirement plans. The gig economy promises flexibility but delivers unpredictability. Instead of a steady paycheck, you get a patchwork of gigs that might add up to something or might leave you empty-handed at the end of the month. And let's not forget the joy of managing your own taxes, because nothing says freedom like setting aside a chunk of your earnings for Uncle Sam and hoping you've guessed the right amount. But what about retirement? The golden years? Except for most of us, retirement is starting to look like a fantasy novel. Something nice to think about, but utterly unattainable. Pensions have largely disappeared, and 401ks are often underfunded. It's like being told you can have a fancy dinner, but you're only allowed to eat if you can find the ingredients on a scavenger hunt. And let's be honest, even if you do manage to save up a little, Social Security is increasingly looking like a mirage on the horizon. The promised safety net is becoming more of a tightrope walk, with many wondering if they'll ever have enough to retire comfortably. For now, it seems like we're all on a treadmill, running faster and faster just to keep up with the basics. But hey, at least we've got job creation, right? Except that too often, new jobs are just repackaged versions of old ones, with fewer benefits and less pay. The latest job trend is the so-called flexible work arrangement. That sounds great, but in practice, it often means you're expected to be available 24/7 with no additional compensation. Flexibility is a two-way street, folks. And then there's the job market itself. Trying to get a decent job these days can feel like a bad game show. You're up against hundreds of other applicants, and even if you make it through the first round, you're faced with endless interviews, assessments, and aptitude tests. It's like you're trying to join an exclusive club, except the club is overbooked and the membership fees are sky high. What's worse is that even if you manage to land that coveted position, you're often faced with a culture of overwork and burnout. The corporate mantra seems to be, do more with less, which translates to, we'll pile on extra work without increasing your pay or giving you more time off. It's like being a circus performer, always juggling, always smiling, while secretly praying you don't drop the ball. And now with the recent market scare, even our investments are looking shakier than a hillbilly on a taped-together lawnmower. With the economy looking so bloated, and with debt mounting so high, it's easy to see why things are starting to take a tumble. All the more reason to go pack up and settle into a quaint cubicle. Oh wait, you can't.
Ugh, this sucks.
So, are jobs a modern scam? Well, it certainly feels that way. We're working harder than ever, getting paid less, and living with a constant sense of uncertainty. Meanwhile, those at the top are enjoying record profits and plush benefits. while the rest of us are left scraping by. But here's the thing, change is possible. It starts with recognizing the problem, pushing for reforms, and demanding better for ourselves and future generations. So, what can we do about it? For starters, let's keep the conversation going. Talk about these issues, advocate for fair wages, and support policies that protect workers. And remember, we're not alone. When we stand together, we have the power to make real changes. It's time to stop accepting the crumbs and start demanding a seat at the table. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones who keep this economy running, and we deserve better. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, please leave a like, it helps out the channel a ton. And if you guys have suggestions for what you'd like to see next, don't hesitate to drop a comment below. Keep it light and loose, my friends.